You got clutch.
What's going on, people? It's your main man, JohnnyclutchCards, back at you again with a fantasy week 1 update and preparation for waivers running tonight. It's Tuesday. Last night was a really good game against with the Ravens and the Raiders. The Raiders won. And that cost me in some leagues, that won me the game in other leagues, so forth. So let's get into it. We're going to start with ESPN teams. We're going to start here right at the top. This is a pay league. My team is Galladay Cooking. That's because I haven't renamed this team from last year. This is a renewal league from last year. Proposed by Magic City. Did he propose that to me? Man, you better get up out of here and stop smoking that. Anyway, so as we look at my team, obviously, I got Pat Mahomes, Alvin Kamara, Mike Davis, Deebo Samuel, Marvin Jones, Darren Waller, Devontae Parker, the Dolphins D. All right, so I got a decent little thing up here. I had Raheem Mostert in. We still were able to pull out the dub last week. Let's take a look at it. We put up 157 points. Oh man, I got emails popping up. Let me make sure we don't pop up any more emails during this video. So put up 160. I think that was the high score this week. Yep, by 3 points. High score. In this league, I think I finished second, but it's like a winner-take-all league. So I thought I was going to get some second-place money. And I was reminded that, oh no, this is a winner-take-all league. So, so be it. Anyway, we were able to put up a pretty good game. And like I said, high score in the league. That's always a positive thing to do. We did have some drops here. Let's get into the drops. I'm trying to make sure I speed this up so we can get through as many teams as possible. May break up ESPN and Yahoo going forward. That way I can just make one for ESPN, one for Yahoo. You let me know what you think in the comments if you'd like to see it. I think I have another 4 or 5 teams in Yahoo. So if I break it out into 2 videos, is that easier? Do some people prefer ESPN over Yahoo versus, and do you want to see it all together? Whatever the case may be. All right, so, there's nothing there for us. All right, so anyway, we did move Raheem Mostert to the IR, so we have an empty spot here. So we definitely have to get out here and pick up somebody. So some of the things that go into who I'm going to pick up, we go here to the player pool, and because we're using Fantasy Pros, my playbook. Oh man, I don't think I imported this team into my playbook. So let's import into my playbook right quick. We're gonna select the platform we're using, ESPN. We'll click proceed. Right, boom. Now we're in there. So we're gonna sync our league here. Boom, pros and Joes. Boom, boom, boom. All right, sync was successful. We're gonna come back in. Because I didn't think this league was going to renew. This is a league from last year that just happened to renew. They did the draft on Thursday night. I think it was Thursday before the game started. So we need to pick up a person. Obviously, Elijah Mitchell is going to be popular this week for pickups. I also like Jawan Johnson down here, wide receiver, tight end, spectacular. But this will give us suggestions of what's in the pool. We can make adjustments here to instead of looking at just week 2, we can do rest of season, and those will change up in some cases. Many of them remain the same. There was some movement there. So we're going to take a look here. I think we also had Gus Edwards on this team too. So it was a little rough this week. So let's see. I like to look at plus minus. Pick up. Let's see. I think we're just going to put the request in for Elijah. This is a PPR league. So this will be my backup. So I'm going to put this one in for Elijah Mitchell just to take him since we already had Raheem Mostert. And see if we can get him. If we don't get him, then we'll just let the waivers run, and we'll come back and get somebody like a Cordell Patterson, right? Because if Mike Davis goes down, Cordell Patterson is designated as pretty much the number 2 back, even though they got Wayne Gallman. Cordell is going to be involved. He'll probably be more involved, even if he's splitting time with Gallman. He will just be more involved in offense overall. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. Also, probably need to come back and look at some of these wide receivers, see if I want to move off of them. Pretty much this early in the season, you kind of like holding unless there's really somebody out there that you want. So we'll see what happens there. So we're gonna move to the next team. This is Cool Hill Hunting. I believe this is a $30 or $40 league. As you can see, we did win this week. Our 156, I don't believe, is the high score this week. Nope, it is the high score this week. And this team starting lineup was Kyler Murray, Chris Carson, Swift, Adams, Tariq Hill, Goddard, Josh Jacobs, Washington D, and Younghoe Koo. All right, a nice little round out there. It's a really good team overall, at least after week 1, right? It's just 1 week at the end of the day. So, they did what they're supposed to do this week. We got to try to make sure that we can do it next week. Now here, because I already got Kyler Murray, I'm tempted to drop Trey Lance, even though like he did get into the game and score and threw his first touchdown this week. I'm tempted to drop him or at least Tevin Coleman if there's somebody in the free agent pool. Those would be the things you would want to look for. So here we're going to jump in. We're going to get our suggestions from Fantasy Pros. There's Jameis, and then look, these are the type of quarterbacks that are in the free agent pool. So that almost just makes you want to go, okay, well, forget it. I'll just cut them and get more running backs and wide receivers on my roster and see how that goes. Look, there's Gronk. There's Devontae Parker, another guy I like. There's Brandon Cooks, who had a big week. Mark Ingram and Elijah Mitchell. All these, and this is I think this is a 10-teamer. So in a 10-teamer, you're always going to have like a free agent pool that kind of looks like this. There's always kind of like something in there to go after or pick up or what have you. So here, we're not as pressed. We did have the leading scorer. So what we might do is just wait here. We're not really pressed at any one position. Let's go back and look at our team. We put up the high score this week. We got a nice balanced team, it seems. Devontae Adams had a terrible game last week, so I expect him to bounce back. I got Swift and Williams, so I'm boxed into that Detroit backfield. Seems like they're going to catch a lot of passes. I could drop Tevin Coleman and pick up somebody just because the Jets didn't look that good this week, or I could rock it out another week. Rounding everything out, there's, Antonio Brown and Deebo Samuel, who both had huge weeks this week. Damian Harris is there. So this is a roster where, I could cut 1 or 2 people and pick somebody up, but I would rather just kind of wait it out since my waiver order is 10 of 10 at this point because I had a high score. Wait it out, see who people pick up and who they drop. A lot of times what you'll find is somebody might drop somebody for underperforming in week 1 that is good long term, right? Somebody is looking at, for lack of a better example, like an Aaron Jones or Devontae Adams or Aaron Rodgers, people who are good but had bad weeks. A lot of times this is where they would drop that person to go chase Elijah Mitchell. So we want them to do that. We want them to chase Eli Mitchell. We want them to do that. We want them to chase that last week's game, drop somebody in the pool that we can then come and scoop up. And, hopefully with our waiver priority rising, we'll have a better chance at getting that person on the next run of waivers on Friday. So that's just I guess you could call it a pro tip. That's a pro tip. A lot of times you might want to wait to see what other people are going to do before you do anything. So here, 7 to 10. This is actually a 2-point per reception league. I got them to finally not do position limits this year. That's why my team name is Position Limits Still Suck, because last year I was kind of jammed up with Mixon and McCaffrey on my team, and I wasn't going to cut them for somebody to pick them up, but I couldn't pick up any running backs because you can only have like 5 running backs. So as you can see here, there's a couple, it's a high scoring league. I'm almost the lowest winning score of the second lowest winning score in this league this week. All right. If we take a look at our team, there's Patrick Mahomes. Zeke had a terrible week. Antonio Gibson, Chris Godwin, Deontay Johnson, Cooper Kupp, who we traded Antonio Brown for, basically. So, gifts. We got some. We gave some. We got something. Latavius Murray, who we picked up to fill in for Odell Beckham, because he was a late scratch on Sunday. And then those are the rest of the guys down here. So if we go back to my team, there's another situation where, you got a pretty good team, had a pretty good week. Excuse me. You could easily pivot out of some of these other players, right? If you wanted to. Want to pivot out of Coleman. I understand it. It's 2 points per reception. So Naheem Hines, Jamal Williams, Tony Pollard, Laviska Shenault. These are guys you're probably not coming off of. But James Conner, in the right scenario, maybe. Tevin Coleman, certainly in the right scenario. You might come off of those players. And if we come and we look here in the free agent pool, we're going to see, okay, there's Tua's there. Elijah Mitchell is there, which, people are going to be vying to get him on their team. In this particular situation, I might just put in a claim for Elijah Mitchell just to see if I would get him. And then other than that, just let everything fall wherever it's going to fall. And then predicated upon what falls into the free agent pool, I would then go and feast off of the seconds in the second wave on Friday and pick up somebody at that point in time. So we're going to go ahead and put this request in here. Clicking here. And we will locate our guy. Where's Elijah? There's still some decent backs in here. Definitely some good backups, right? Tony Jones Jr. had a pretty good game. He's the new Latavius Murray. Carlos Hyde was pretty solid. I think he got more carries than James Robinson. So that's another guy. But here, the guy that everybody's going to be after is this guy, Elijah Mitchell. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a request to try to get him with the understanding that we're 7 or 10. So we're low enough to where, we're probably not going to get him regardless. But we're going to make sure that nobody below us, the 8, 9, or 10, is going to get a shot at him. Because that's another thing we try to, that's another strategy. Hey, I'm going to make sure that it doesn't go past me, right, in that particular instance, right? So with that being said, we're going to move to our next team here. This is my work league. I am the two-time defending champion. I think I've won it 3 times, but I won the last 2 years in a row. I'm going for a 3-peat this year. I did put up the highest score this week. Obviously here's Kyler Murray, Christian McCaffrey, Mike Davis, Hopkins, Ridley, Gronk, Josh Jacobs, Ramsey, and Jason Sanders. I've already done some moving around. Obviously, I drafted Michael Thomas to put him into that IR spot. Raheem Holster got hurt, so we moved him to an IR spot, and I think I cut somebody else. As you can see, Tevin Coleman's there too, with Tom Brady, Melvin Gordon, and Cortland Sutton, and Latavius. So here, this is a standard league, so it's standard scoring, so there's no PPR here, which means the scores are a lot lower, and it's really predicated upon you making sure that people get in the end zone, or they get a lot of yards, or the end zone. So when we come in, we look in here, here you go, Elijah Mitchell, Mark Ingram, Carlos Hyde, Sterling Shepard, Christian Kirk, Rondell Moore, Cook, Everett. There's a little bit of everything in here, as you can see, right? So what we value in this particular scenario is trying to find somebody. That's what I had before I had Elijah Moore. Is trying to find, 1 or 2 people we can just pick up. In this particular scenario, because I've already opened up 2 spots, right? And there's nobody that I'm dying to get on my team, and my waiver priority is already 9 of 10. This is another spot where I'll just wait, right? I'll wait for waivers to run, see what's left, and then pick up, and then see who gets cut And then hopefully, because everybody else picks up, I go from 9 to 5 spots up, and I'm 4, right? And that would be that would be the strategy there. Because what am I going to? Am I going to, with the lineup that I currently have? Am I going to insert Elijah Mitchell automatically into my lineup? Probably not. Probably not, right? And there's only one team behind me. So if the team behind me gets Elijah Mitchell, then God bless him. At the end of the day. So, but we got the dub in this league as well. We're gonna move to our last team, and here is where we did not get the dub. We actually lost 106 to 92. I think we were down 4 points, and we had Andrews going against Marquise Brown, and this will be the one game that Marquise Brown scores a touchdown, puts up some yards, and Mark Andrews has a quiet game. So it didn't work out for us. This is an 8-teamer standard league, and they also have a linebacker, so an IDP, an individual defensive player, in the lineup. So this is kind of tough. This is actually one of the tougher leagues to do. The fewer teams you have, the tougher it is, because there's so much talent that you leave out in the free agent pool, and you always feel like, oh man, there's so many people to choose from. Who do I pick? Who do I play? Right? If you look at the team, look, Dak, Dalvin Cook, Zeke, Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen, Mark Andrews, Antonio Gibson, Devin Bush, Jason Sanders. I got Edwards-Helaire, Deontay Johnson, Kenny Galladay, DJ Chark, Deebo Samuel, William Fuller, and Melvin Gordon and Michael Thomas all on the bench, which is definitely not, it's definitely not in a heavily competitive league, right? So it's a lot more difficult to have so many options. It's a lot more difficult to have so many options and not be able to pick from the options that are there. So if we come and look at this league, we're probably not going to pick up anybody here. Let's take a look at the free agent pool. So the free agent pool loads here. You got Burrow, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Elijah Mitchell. Devin Singletary is interesting. But ultimately, when you look at these guys and you think about who's on your team, none of these guys are going to jump out as somebody over your team. The tight end spot is kind of optional. That's why Gronk and Goddard and all these guys are still here, which, like I said, it makes it very difficult to pick from. So if we just move in this particular instance, we probably won't pick up anybody. We'll just wait and see if somebody gets cut that's interesting. And in a league like this, where there's only 8 teams, you can almost be assured that somebody will get cut just because they had a bad week, and then that's when you can pounce. But if you'll get to actually take advantage of it, who knows, right? So that is the ESPN lineup. What I'll do is do a second video for Yahoo, and we'll discuss that then. But as of week 1 on ESPN, we are 4-1 across our leagues. And, 1 week in the books. Let's move on to week 2. If you have any comments, took any value from this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you like the content, if you want to see something different. And I'll see you in the next video. My name is JohnnyclutchCards. I am for the people, by the people. You only got me in the Constitution. Peace.